Good day. Today, 8/15/2012, dog days of August, as they are. One of the things that we're featuring is our Deere. It's a good company, but with the growth slowing down, note it's in China, India, and EU 27. The other half of the shortfall is manufacturing execution. The good news is for Deere expects to make up the bulk of the sales mix related to sales execution in Q4. In Q3, the company added aggressive production levels. Company continues to ramp up its schedules. However, we're featuring it as one of the shorts that we're going to go down that we have talked about all year. And unlike anything else, Deere was a great bull run as long as the Chinese and India and the rest of the emerging markets and some of Europe was all doing well. Deere did well. So what I have to say is that the company is seeing early signs of some good things that are in there that could flatten out in the U.S. That is, it left the U.S. and Canada. They sell the equipment to farmers, and we've had this terrible drought, and one thing that we like about Deere is in their utility tractors. The industry was plus 3%. Deere rose in line with the industry because it did in that respect. The row crop tractors, that particular industry was plus 33%. Deere rose in line with the industry. Four-wheel drive tractors, those tractors, that industry is plus 21%. Deere rose more than that particular industry. Combined industry plus 14%. Deere rose more than the industry based on what they're executing. Now, in the ag and turf retail sales, company left US and Canada AG unchanged, but slightly lowered their expectations for the EU 27 to flat. From flat to up 5% and lowered Asia AG, down moderately from up moderately, though slowing. And we all know that China is not on board yet. And what we have to figure out is the values of where Deere will be based on these emerging markets and the slower growth that the U.S. is going to have to deal with. And all of these companies like Deere, Cummins, what was the other one that did extremely well that we really enjoy? There's a few of them. So I'm just telling you that Deere is down big here, and it could not gain that 100-week moving average, and it was a great intraday short on this weekly level. Because Deere does not have the same growth pattern, it's going to take some time for Deere to turn things around and grow in a slower environment. Now, when I go back and look at the weekly chart in this respect, I would like to see it come back down and price itself in around $65. That would be areas that we would like to see back over here where it was at 60. Oh, it was right down here on the weekly level. It was a good buy down here and a great rally up to the this was a great buy because things had turned around a little bit for Deere during this period of time. When things went slow on Deere over here in 2011, we had to short it for the same reasons we're shorting it this week based on the earnings. Once again, we will monitor the weekly support level here as to how this trade will either break the support level or continue to go down. One of the things that we like about it is they say that they're running the factory at full speed, so there was no downtime to get caught up once we fell behind. They had fell behind before when we were shorting up here. And there were times when we shorted weekly here, but there's great times to buy Deere long. Right now it's a short. That is the Deere's earnings. And the thing about it is, Deere has allowed dealers to cancel orders. And some machines will be shipped too late for harvest. So let's talk about harvest. The harvest part of it is always up to 4 to 5 weeks in some areas now, MMTs, in that respect. This is done live right now, so it's not something that we rehearse. These are live trades, these are live analysis. So MMT, in our workshop, what we'll do is we'll go through the intrinsic value of the earnings relative to a slower growth, and where Deere would have a turnaround story just as it did over here when we shorted this thing up here at the highs in calendar 2011. And we shorted them all. They were the greatest bull runs back in 2010. They were kicking on all cylinders because worldwide growth hadn't slowed down yet. But they did up at the top in calendar 11, and they have in 2012. So we'll be monitoring it and updating it throughout the calendar of 2012. What's remaining? Today is 8/15/2012. MMT will convene in our workshop groups, and we'll get together about where the lower support levels are, where growth would be acceptable to the economic forward-looking outlook.